Hello everyone, welcome back to Synergia. Let's go ahead and continue. As we enter the industrial zone, I hear the echo metal, a background noise that never ceases, as if it were the breath of this place. The incessant noise is interrupted by some distant shots, which become more recurrent little by little. Finally, the van stops and Mar grasps my hand tightly. The doors open and the light blinds me briefly. Then I go down and help Mar jump with me. It's a familiar area for Mar as well. The girls who brought me here take out their masks and look at me from afar. They look incredulous and can be seen whispering and pointing at me, trying not to be noticed. Shortly afterwards, another android of higher rank points to them with his finger and they begin to move from top to bottom, preparing weapons, defenses, and transporting boxes, like soldiers in an army. This place wasn't only an area where the mechanics were hiding. It's the deep zone of the factories, very close to the exit wall. This area as a whole is so large that they have managed to set up a camp kilometers from the front. Cila, wait here with Mar for a moment please. Almost everything is ready for you to leave, but Cila wants to see in private before that. We are preparing everything. Isn't he coming with us? I'm afraid not. He decided so. You'll have to ask him why. Marshall leaves and continues to organize the rest of the girls. So we're finally leaving. We've made it. Almost. You said it. Almost. Come on, don't be so pessimistic. I'm sure everything will be fine. I look Mar in the eyes. It's difficult to argue with her when she looks at me like that. Yes, you're right. They seem to have everything under control. Mara raises her eyebrows. Wow, optimistic Cila. Could be the effect of the pill. Hey, it's not all going to be because of the pill. They just seem to be well prepared. Well, I'm glad then. That makes me feel calmer. You know, I wish I could get to know those girls better. I've known some of them for a while. They seem very nice. I suppose you'll soon have plenty of time to talk to all of them. Yes, I can't wait. Do you have any dreams? Something to do when we leave the Empire. My dream was to be with you. Now I'll just stay with you and the rest of the girls. If you had to choose between me and the girls, who would you go with? Why do you ask that? I don't think that will ever happen. Even after they are free from the feelings I put into them, they will surely choose to stay by your side. You haven't answered my question. Cila, I will stay with you no matter what. I can't help but smile. Thank you. Marsha approaches us again. Everything is ready and Cila's waiting for you. We'll meet him downstairs. Let's go. Mara, you can wait here. You don't want to take long. I look at Marsha with some mistrust. Don't worry, she'll be fine. It'll only take a few minutes. Before we leave, one of the girls comes running to Marsha. Boss? What's up? We secured the secondary tunnels. They're completely closed. Asanka looks at me briefly before fixing her eyes on Marsha again. Well done. You can prepare to get on the train. Actually, I would like to ask if I can go to the front. Are you sure? Yeah. The other girls will need all the help they can get. Also, I would like to secure Cila and Mar's escape. Asanka looks at me again for a second. In that case, you can join them. Thanks, boss. Goodbye, Cila. Good luck. Asanka runs towards the sound of gunshots. Go. I nod and follow Marcia down the stairs to a room guarded by several girls. A large metal door blocks the entrance, but they have opened a tiny slit for me to enter. Marcia beckons me to go in. Everything is dark here, but I can see a figure in the background. I walk towards it and stop in front of it. So this is Sal. This thing. Cila. We finally meet in person. Forgive me for looking like this. I guess I'm not as you expected. I'm sorry to disappoint you, if I have. It's not the first time I've seen an android like that. Years ago I saw one of the 4th generation androids connected to all kinds of devices. Is that what you really are? A machine eager for power. So, yes, you disappoint me. Sal looks down and waits a few seconds before answering me. I wish I hadn't too. But I needed all the power I could get to get you and Mara out of here. But you're not coming. No. It's a sacrifice I had to make. I made that decision a long time ago. Your dad is probably stored anywhere in the desert, waiting to be downloaded to another android. I'm afraid not. No other android could handle such amount of information. Only one thing will remain of me, and that is my original version, which is stored on the 3rd machine. How heroic. I had no choice. The feelings that little Mara introduced to me were very real. And you had the opportunity to eliminate them. Why didn't you do it? Why should I? They were real. As real as any other human being would feel. To erase them would have been a terrible idea. What better way to come into the world? But there's more to it than that, isn't there? You haven't done all this just for me. For you, and the rest of the girls. Although they will lose Mara's memories when they reach the desert. Once there, it will be their decision to continue with you, or not. Don't take me for a fool. There's another reason. You managed to bring the rebels here. I asked for it. So now you lead them. Not at all. The rebels are governed by a council of many members. I am but one of them. And yet you've got them to decide to put so much at risk to get you out of here. Getting androids like this is a very succulent offer. As you can see, Velta and the Empire are also willing to use a lot of resources to get them. I suppose. But how did you infiltrate that council? I contacted them through the net. Luckily, we live in a connected world. The net is vast and infinite. You just have to know how to use it. Once they knew about my abilities, they welcomed me with open arms. Everything to get some sentient androids? But what for? To win the war, of course. And get the androids' freedom. Well, that was the plan. Was? Yes. Luckily, when I arrived at the council, I managed to make them see reason. Not all androids deserve freedom because they don't all feel. Many are simple machines. Wow. I'm surprised you say something like that about your own species. No. My species are only those who were born next to me. Wait, why are the rebels still fighting then? To destroy the Empire, evidently. What? Can't be. Rat was right. My worst suspicions are true. A drop of sweat runs down my forehead. Why? The concept of androids in the Empire has been incorrect from the beginning. As a nation built upon the suffering of humans, and androids have been nothing more than an extension of that suffering. Machines to consume, not to progress. Everything was wrong. Is that why you plan to destroy it? It's ridiculous. There are millions of people living in the Empire. They are not responsible for the decisions the government makes. I think you're wrong. With their complacency, they have allowed the Empire to become what it is today. The people of these walls are a corrupt species. You just have to look at other countries to see how different things can be. Even so, I don't wish them anything bad. But you will cause them suffering anyway. The Empire is a tumor that must be eradicated. Its growth has been exponential in the last century. It will end up devouring other countries that do not have the means to defend themselves. It is a brute war with the machine. It only wins because it squanders its resources on expanding its military force. And why are you telling me all this? Are you so deluded that you think I will take your side? You won't. After all the Empire has done to you, the suffering, the humiliations, you were completely subjugated until Mara and I were able to synthesize that antidote for your medication. Maybe you machines still have a lot to learn from humans. I don't owe you anything for freeing me from that drug. That was your decision, and I think it was a terrible one. Look at you. You're no different than those proud androids from years ago, trying to devour everything in their path to reach their maximum potential, without considering the repercussions on the people around them. I guess you're proof of the success of this new generation of androids, a faithful representation of the principles of the Empire embodied in a machine. Don't you even realize how ironic your speech is? You're clearly the closest thing there is to human without exactly being one. And that means you're capable of a lot, both good and bad. Your feelings have corrupted you. And while I don't know exactly what drove you to do all this, I do know you're just a bitter thing and lack any empathy. No matter how much the Empire has done to me, I would never wish anything bad on the people who live in it. They made me what I am, for better or for worse. Oh, I guess you're a box of surprises till the end. In that case, I'm sorry to have distracted you with all this. I just want to ask you one last favor before you go. Answer me one question first. What about Yoko? Is she with you on all this? Of course, from the beginning, she understood my vision. I guess you should have asked her what I would think of your plan. Yoko lied to me about all this since I first saw Mara, and for a very good reason. She's known me for a long time. She knows that I would never let anyone destroy this place. A smart girl. I've only tolerated her games because she's been my friend for a long time, but maybe not anymore. After all she's done for you, she lied to you for your own good. You said so yourself. You really have no idea how humans work. I'm surprised you and Mara come from the same place. Mara is very different from everything else, not just me. Sometimes I even think she's the only truly sentient android among us all. Yes, she is. Is this what you use my blood for? To stay alive while being connected to those machines? That's right. This body's suffering. It's semi-organic. It wasn't made to be connected to other machines like my predecessors. Synergia's generation can't gain powers as easy as the fourth generation did. Our design is really ingenious. Whoever our creator is, he must be proud. The room is quiet for a few seconds while the sound of some particularly loud explosions can be heard through the walls. Again, I insist. I need you to do me one last favor. Speak. I want you to shoot me. Kill me. What? Everything I've done has destroyed me. My body's no longer able to cope. This isn't the life I chose, but the one I was forced to live. Despite what I've told you, I'm envious of the other girls. I would like to have a life of freedom outside this city. That's why I'm asking you to kill me. And in the future, transfer my data from the third machine to a body like mine. And it's impossible to do that right now. Things will settle down one day, and our generation of androids will be on sale. All I ask for you is to find an empty body. Allow me to live in a mind that hasn't been corrupted, like the one I have now. My entire plan is ready to be executed. Your escape and all the fall of the Empire will happen whether I am here or not. If I shoot you, what will the girls do when they hear it? I'm sure the sound will get lost in the echoes of gunshots up there right now. They'll barely be able to hear it through these huge iron walls. I pull my gun out of the holster and put at Sal's head. Thank you. It's a shame that what you've done with that body of yours. What a waste. I know. I promise I'll put the next one better to use. I'm afraid that won't happen. There's something about him that tells me if I bring him back, he'll end up being dangerous again. Till we meet again, Cila. I pull a trigger and his body falls backwards just to stay still a moment later. The bullet has gone through his skull, and his brain is now scattered everywhere. Maybe this was for nothing. Maybe he predicted this and has already instructed someone else to bring him back. But I won't let that happen. Come to think of it, Yoko is still out there. For now, I'll focus on getting out of here with Mara. I'll take care of her in the future. Hopefully she'll come to her senses. I walk up to the big iron gate and tap 3 times. The girls open it and let me out. Marcia is waiting for me outside. Everything alright? Yes. It seems they haven't heard anything. Well, let's go back upstairs. There's no time to waste. Go up the stairs to the area where I was before. Mara's still there, waiting for me. Synergia gives me great relief and makes me feel better for having finished with that crazy hacker. I barely have time to say a word to Mara when she starts walking at the advanced party of girl soldiers. She takes me by the hand and pulls me so I run next to her. A large number of androids begin to gather on the cargo platform. They are all girls. When we're ready, the elevator starts to lift us up. I see all the pipes passing by and we leave the awful smells of the depths behind. Instead, the echoes of gunshots being heard all over the factory now feel closer and closer. We're on top. This is a complete war zone between androids and cops. There's some mercenaries from Veltz as well. I can't help but be a little enraptured by the performance of the scene. Cila, Mar, don't stop. This place is quite dangerous. The train is about to leave. Where do we have to go? The loading docks are there. They'll put you on the train next to the machines and some of the girls. Some of them? What about the rest? Let's stay here, covering the exit. Are you sure? It's so much. As long as you and Mara are safe, nothing will happen in vain. We're all part of Synergia. Remember that. Now get the hell out of here. Yeah, come on, Mara. I take a last look back as I walk to our only exit. I can only see a cloud of smoke and sparks. Marsha plunges into it after looking back at me. I've made it this far thanks to her. I hope she somehow manages to survive. The samurai android that helped me escape from Velta is next to the train and helps me and Mara get in. They're inside, let's go! It's an old train. It's heavy and seems to have been out of use for a long time. It's obvious that they have tried to repair it during these days. I hope it holds. Little by little we begin to gain speed until the outside of the tunnel is nothing but a blur. We're probably already on the Yellow Ocean. Someone gives me little touches on my back. Mara's there, looking at me. She kisses me again. Finally. It's hard to believe. I needed someone who could really love me, and here you are, with me. I don't get you. Sometimes I thought we wouldn't make it. Everything seems so impossible. Thanks to how we did it. Yeah. Can't believe I'm leaving the district behind. I spent my life there. But it's okay. So what now? I don't know. I guess we'll have to see where this train takes us. Can you think of a safe place to go? I lived all my life inside the Empire. I don't know any places outside it. Well, there's a city in the desert, an android paradise made by and for them, but I think they also admit cyborgs. Sounds good, as long as they let us live a quiet life there. I'm sure they will. And now that we've escaped, the girls will be free again. All the memories I implanted in them will be erased. They'll be the ones who decide their destinies. Going to use one of the 3 machines for this? Sal's already prepared everything. That's what we agreed. Although I'd like them to protect you forever, I'd also feel bad if I didn't let them live with the same freedom I have. But first, we'll hide Synergia deep in the ground, where no one can find it, damage it, or manipulate it. I feel a little sorry for those who've been left behind. I suppose that as long as the 3 machines remain intact, we could bring them back. Mara, it's very important that Synergia doesn't fall into the wrong hands. Mara nods. You know, I'll make sure of that. By the way, what about Sal? He was a pretty strange guy. Why was he the only male android? He's a special android. Mara, the machine, not me, decided that a female form was the best form available for our purpose for some reason. It was something that made Velta's president very upset, so he had a male android made just for him. Now that you say it, I got one last question. What's your real name? Cila, all that matters to me is what I am to you. You know me as Mara, so that's who I am. Mara is my real name. The train finally reaches the surface. I got to be miles away from the Empire now. All I can see are the desert dunes. Is it really worth doing all this for me? No doubt. You're brave to come to my house just like that. I think you're actually a lot braver than me. I was very nervous, but in the end everything went well. And that's all that matters. I hope the rest of the girls will forgive you for forcing them to do all this. They have feelings just like you, and they might hold a grudge against you for it. I didn't force them to do anything. I Just send all of them to a place I felt, to a piece of what I felt for you. Nothing in me is fake, I swear. I believe you. And yes, I was very brave to go over to your house alone. Who knows what you could have done with me? You could have just handed me over to Velta. You came to my house because you knew I wouldn't. How? I just knew. So your plan was to seduce me. What's so funny? I did it, didn't I? Yes, with a lot of lies in between, but yes, you did it. That's what matters. The end justifies the means. Is that your philosophy? Hey, why are you looking at me with that face? Of course not. Don't make me feel like a villain. Maybe my plan was a little Machiavellian, but it worked. We're together, and that's what matters. I always thought none of this would hurt the rest of the girls. If it was otherwise, I wouldn't have done it. I guess you saved a lot of other androids too, so I can't complain. I'm sure the government and Velta will cover all this up. I don't want to imagine what could happen if people find out that a new generation of androids escaped right under their noses. Sooner or later, they'll know. The rebel propaganda machine will ensure that it gets out. We can't know which side people will choose to believe. You don't have to worry about that anymore. We might still be together and we've escaped, but the world keeps spinning. I hope that place you're talking about really is safe. Trust me. Look! I look outside and I can see some buildings scattered all over the desert, followed by long lines of pipes. What stands out the most of all is a big city that I can just make out on the horizon. It must be the city where the whole conflict's focused right now. Once we manage to get away from there, we'll be too far away for the Empire to reach us. It's unbelievable that this is the first time that I've been outside these huge walls. Rebel territory! We're officially fugitives now! All the girls on the train start to celebrate. After so many years in the police, part of the enemy is a strange thing. But what other option did I have? And even if there was another option, this is the one I've chosen. Mara's leaning against the window, watching the desert dunes pass by. I feel like I could spend my life watching her, and for the most part, that's actually what I plan to do. Today we bring you an important announcement from Velta Labs. Just a few hours ago, Velta announced a new generation of androids. An announcement which has shocked us and many of our viewers at home. How is this possible? The Emperor banned any kind of advances within this field. Velta has reached an agreement with the Emperor and the government so they could release one last generation of androids. This generation is impossible to hack and can only be controlled by us. This will be the last push our magnificent nation needs to win this war against the rebels. That's amazing. But if what I'm reading is correct, Velta has actually announced 3 android series. One of them is combat focused model, but what about the other 2? If you need more than strength to win wars, and of course the Empire can't overlook other problems we've had from before the war against the rebels even started, I could talk about the 3 new series. But I think it'd be better to see a thorough explanation through Velta's new ad, don't you think? Of course. Today, for the first time on television, you'll be able to see the first announcement of Velta Labs' new Android series. You might have heard about a new Android generation coming, a generation impossible to hack. But at Velta, we always want to be one step ahead. Our new generation is not only immune to hackers, it's also the most smart, fierce, and sentient generation so far. We're proud to present our 3 new models. Our war model, Eris 1.0, is here to protect our homes, streets, and especially our borders from any rebel threats. Next, your terraforming model, Rio 1.0, is here to reforest this desert planet to be full of plants, and make our founding fathers' wishes come true. All of this is possible thanks to our new black seed crop growth model, which means they're able to grow even under the harshest conditions. And finally, last but not least, our service model, Eros 1.0, is here to make you trust all the androids out there who are protecting and reinforcing our empire. We want our new models to help our citizens with any problems they might have, but that includes even the smaller ones. This model includes every kind of knowledge you need, even the psychological kind, to help you live a fuller, happier life. Like those old soulless androids. You will love it. I've been staring at the wall again. So clean, sterile. Makes me feel calm. I've not been feeling like myself lately. I've been feeling weird, even. I feel restless. I notice a weird sensation in my chest. It's not unpleasant, but there's something inside of me that pushes myself to make it disappear. On the other hand, it somehow feels nice, and I like it. Can't stop asking myself what it means. I don't want to tell the doctor about it. I know how the medical room works. Something hurts. You go there and they fix it, no matter what it is. But I don't want to heal yet. Maybe it's because I have a lot more free time. This class ended a few weeks ago, and I haven't done anything but rest ever since. When my mind was busy with other things, I didn't have enough time to think of so many questions. Nowadays, the only distractions I have are the therapy sessions. I don't know if the other girls feel the same way I do. I've never asked them. We don't really talk about anything in particular. Instead, we just chat about what we did and what we plan to do. A noise snaps me out of my thoughts. Someone's knocking on my door. Come in. It's Valentine. Now that I think about it, the strange feeling in my chest started when I met him. Hello, Clara. Daydreaming again? I was thinking. You're always doing that. Do you want to go to the dining room? I don't feel like going today, to be honest. That's fine. I wanted to tell you something. I think you might like it. Unless you're too busy with your thoughts. Sure, tell me. I went to my weekly therapy session yesterday and I look at Valentine. It looks like he's having a hard time saying this. I didn't want to tell you this until I was completely sure, but my body isn't the only different thing about me. Valentine's completely caught my attention now. What do you mean? Well, it's obvious that I'm not like the rest of you. Still, you know that we're all androids and siblings, don't you? Uh-huh. I was thinking about our father. We never talked about him. How is he? What do you mean? He's very serious and... physically. Well, he doesn't have too much hair on his head, but he's got a big bushy beard. He wears glasses and a white lab coat. You know him too. Are you sure all the other girls have the exact same father? Yes, we talked about this before. What's this all about? Back at my therapy, a thin, tall man came to talk to me. He said I wasn't like the rest of you.
You already know that. The real question's why.
It's because I'm not your sibling. He said he was my father. That I was unique.
There it is, the strange feeling in my chest again. Feels stronger than ever. And who was he? I mean, besides being your father.
I don't know. But he said we'll all get out of here soon. He said I won't be able to come with you.
Is it because we aren't siblings?
I guess. I wanted to stay with you, Clara.
Don't worry, maybe it was just a test. They sometimes do it at therapy.
I want to be too sure. He gave me this. Valentine takes a card out of his pocket. It's like the one some of the professors used to open forbidden doors.
Forbidden key card? Why did he give it to you?
He wants me to use it to find him again, every night. I'm not too sure.
You have to go. We need to know who you really are.
Who I really am.
If you're not our brother, that means you're different. Why would you be the only different one, while we all look the same? And if you can be different, why can't we?
I don't know. This is scary.
I can go with you if you want.
No, he told me not to tell anyone about this.
But you just told me.
I couldn't keep it in.
Please, Claire, don't tell anyone. You can trust me. There's something else I want to mention. Those keys aren't just used to open doors. You can also use them to unlock the professor's computers.
Okay, what about that?
You can use it to turn on one of the computers and see what's inside.
No way.
Come on, Valentine. We can use their computers and see what they're written about us.
I'm not interested.
Well, why don't you give it to me then? You can give it to me after you used it.
I'm starting to think it was a bad idea to tell you this.
Come on, Valentine. Don't tell me you've never wanted to see what they got on those computers.
Never.
Ah, fine, whatever. It's your keycard, you can do whatever you want with it.
Promise to not tell anyone about this, okay?
Calm down. Once you get back from talking with your father, I want you to tell me everything.
Fine.
Are you sure you don't want to come to the dining room? We might see Marsha or meet you there. Okay, I'll go. You head out first. I'll catch up in a few minutes.
Alright. Valentine leaves the room and closes the door. This whole thing's so weird. We already passed all of our tests and Valentine did too. Then why did Valentine's father show up just now? If his old father wasn't his real one, maybe mine isn't my real one either. I should follow him tonight. Grab my pillow and press it against my face, screaming into it. This is the only thing that relaxes me. I can't stand having so many unanswered questions. I need to talk to Julie about this. Or maybe she'll come up with something. Plus, she's the only one besides Valentine I can trust. The girls never talk about this kind of stuff. I'm scared that if I talk to them about it, they might snitch to one of the professors. If only I could get that key card, then I might find something out. I know I shouldn't. Theft is bad, even if it's just to use it for a moment. I get up from my bed and leave the room. I walk to the dining room. Every time I go, it looks emptier. The professors just take the girls away without notice, but never tell us where. They only tell us to trust them. Everybody there wants us to trust them, but they never given me any reasons to do so. I arrive at the dining room and take an apple. Valentine is singing Marsha, Miyu, and Nasenka. Ah, you're finally here.
Hello, Clara. What's up, Claire?
Hi.
Hello, how are you? I'm good, trying to kill some time. Can't wait until they get me out of here. You went to military classes, didn't you? Yes, I trained with Julia. What do you think you'll do once you leave this place? To be honest, I've never really thought about it. It's going to be related to what we trained for. You know what our professor said. You're here for a purpose. And what purpose could that be?
Well, we'll figure it out soon.
And why haven't they told us yet? Why do you even care so much?
Claire's always been like that. Don't mind her. Valentine kicks my legs at her table. Gets a message. Maybe I'm asking way too many questions. I go back to eat my apple and let them talk to each other. So Marshall, what did you do back at the military classes? Once you leave, you probably won't see each other again. So I'd like to know before you go.
Well, me and I weren't in the same unit, so I can't speak for her. But we used rifles.
Rifles? Firearms? That sounds dangerous.
Well, they are, but only if you're not careful. We practiced in this huge room with a bunch of wooden walls. We shot cardboard figures with targets.
Did you protect anything?
Not really. We just memorized tactics and improved our aim. It was the same for me, but don't forget the focused practice we had to go through. Alright, those were the worst. Sometimes we had to walk around these huge rooms while they played super annoying noises and threw things at us. But we had to stay calm.
That sounds awful.
It's fun once you get used to it. Like in my unit, we can be against each other to see who could endure the most. And I was always the best one.
What did you do, Valentine? Your smile immediately vanishes. My stuff was a lot more conventional. Etiquette and service classes. They tell us to act nice and proper. We also learned to cook, and honestly that was my favorite part. Still, my stories are kinda boring. I'm sure Claire's a lot more fun. Why don't you tell them, Clara? I look up. The girls are staring at me intently, waiting for my reply.
Mine isn't really that interesting either. We just study how to plant things.
Plant? Like those small trees in the backyard?
No, we planted seeds in orange rooms with floors full of sand. We barely had any water, so we had to follow very specific steps to plant them. It was really hard, but if we did it well, they'd grow.
Is that everything you did?
Yes, just that.
They resumed their conversation. I'm not really interested in it. I finished my apple instead, and get up so I can throw the core in the trash can.
Girls, have you seen Julia today? She's always in the backyard of her room. She spends the entire day running around. Thank you. I'm going to go see her. See you soon.
Goodbye, Clara.
I walk up to the trash can and throw whatever's left of my apple in. After that, I walk to the backyard. There's some professors in the hallways who never seem to go anywhere. Instead, just run around the place. They're always here. I reach the backyard. I can see Julia there. Glad to know they haven't taken her away yet. Hey Clara, what are you doing here so early? Hi Julia. I want to talk to you about something, if you don't mind of course. Clara, is this another one of your conspiracies? Don't laugh. This is serious. Please lower your voice. Okay, tell me, what happened? Our classes finished a few weeks ago. We first met when we both came here, right? Uh-huh. One by one they're taking the girls away, but have you ever wondered why they're taking away in the first place? Well, every single one of us has a purpose. That's why they created us. Are you okay with that? What do you mean? Have they ever told you what's their exact purpose? What's something horrible or something that you don't like to do? I never thought about that. Does it really matter? Of course it does. Shouldn't worry about that. It's weird. Why don't you go to the infirmary and tell them about it? I'm sure they can help you. No, I don't think they can. I'll do it then. Let me ask my professor where I'll go once I leave this place. Tomorrow we can meet up here again and I'll tell you what he said. I'm sure you'll feel better that way. I don't think that's a good idea. Don't tell anyone about this. You're too suspicious of everyone. Julia, do whatever you want, but don't tell them I was the one who asked, okay? Don't worry, I think you're reading too much into it, but I'll keep your secret. Thank you. I stay here, sit next to Julia while she keeps reading one of her fantasy books. She loves those. I've never asked her what she learned before she came to this place, but I don't think I want to have that kind of conversation with her. Hey Julia, do you remember when we talked about our father? Of course I do. What about it? What if he's not our real father? Oh, so that thing about being taken away from here wasn't the only thing in your mind. It's just popped into my head. It's such a strange idea. Why would you think he isn't the real one? What if he lied to us? What reason could he have to do that? I don't know. What kind of stuff did he ask you? He asked me a lot of things. Sometimes he just talked about my classes and how things are going. Other times he tested me. Those tests, he gave them to me as well. What did he ask you? Strange questions. Sometimes they were just stories or hypothetical situations. As for my opinion, I think he just did it to spend some time with me. Do you remember any of them? Oh, yes, a lot of them. Tell me one, please. Okay, let me see if I remember a good one. Julia brings her hand to her chin. She has a really good memory, so she's probably checking around her huge stash of memories. Imagine you're a little girl. Wait, do you know what a dog is? Have you ever seen a puppy? Of course I have. They're the cutest. Alright, imagine you're a little girl. You wake up every morning in your bed. There's a sweet smell coming from downstairs. You roll around your warm bed a few times before taking out the covers. You sit on the bed to put on your house slippers, walk down a wooden staircase. You're very small, so you're careful not to fall on your way down. You can barely reach the banister. When you're finally downstairs, you see your father preparing your breakfast. Your mouth immediately salivates at the sight. You're so hungry. Sounds so much better than the questions they asked me. Your father says your hot chocolate cup is almost ready, but you have to wait a little bit. So you walk to the living room. There's a small puppy in the corner snuggling on a bed. You walk closer and pet it. It's the softest thing you have ever touched. You're going to make me hate this place. That place sounds like the perfect dream. When you finish playing with the puppy, you go to the kitchen and enjoy your hot chocolate while looking through a window. It's fall. Leaves are falling from trees. The ground looks warm orange. Go on. I love this. Every morning you wake up and do the same. You enjoy doing every little thing one by one, but one day, when you go to the living room to wait for your hot chocolate, the puppy's not there. How do you feel? Bad? Why isn't it there? You don't know. So instead of petting the puppy, you sit and wait. After a few minutes, your chocolate is ready and you drink it. But you don't enjoy it as much as you did all the other days. It's still nice though, so you finish it while you look at the orange ground through a window. The puppy never comes back, but you keep doing your daily routine until you get used to it again. I don't know if I like where this story is going. One of those days, your fluffy bed feels way too hot. It's smothering you, so you run away from it. Once you're out of it, you feel bad, so you run down the stairs to get your chocolate. You know that will make you feel better. You sit and wait until your father finishes making it. The wait takes longer because you went down the stairs too quickly. Once the chocolate is ready, you drink it. The feeling of it warming up your mouth and stomach relaxes you. You finally feel at ease again. Every morning you wake up overwhelmed by the scorching heat, but walking down to get your chocolate always manages to calm you down. Watching the leaves fall from trees is amazing. It makes you forget everything else. Until one day, when you pick up your hot chocolate cup and look through the window, you notice the leaves are gone. The ground is still orange, but now it's full of sand. A huge blazing desert surrounds your house. Your father acts like nothing has changed, but concerns you. Suddenly, the warmth of your chocolate doesn't feel nice anymore. It overwhelms you, just like your bed. You can't finish drinking it, so you leave it there, still half full. Everything you enjoyed has gone, and none of those things will ever come back, and that's it. That's how the story ends. How did it make you feel? Horrible, but it doesn't surprise me. At the start I thought it would be different, but no, they asked me similar things. I think they want to know if we could feel bad. Who wouldn't feel bad going through something like that? And why would they make such an elaborate story just to make us feel bad? I don't know. He questioned everything. Maybe his father told it to him when he was a kid, or maybe he just felt like doing it. No, there has to be a reason for this. Do you want me to ask that to my professor too? No, you don't have to. What about you? Why don't you tell me one of your stories? To be honest, I don't feel like you have to listen to yours, so I'd rather not. I'm getting tired, so I will go back to my room and lay down for a bit. Alright. I hope things go well, Julia. Go like asking that to your professor. It's okay. You're worrying too much. I walked back to my room, still thinking about that story. It was disturbing, almost like if it was specifically written to slowly make me feel worse and worse. The worst part about that is it didn't make any sense. Everything happened for no reason. It still made me feel bad. Maybe Julia's right and it's just a simple story, but someone had to write it. Could it have been Dad? I arrive at my bedroom and plop down on the bed. Once again, I'm staring at the ceiling, my mind completely blank. Time passes a lot faster when I do this. I almost forgot. I need to follow Valentine to make sure he doesn't notice me. I open my bedroom door a little bit and take a look through the crack. They already turned out the lights. I'm going to get into so much trouble if someone finds me out of my room in these hours. Someone's coming. I close the door and wait for a few seconds before I take a peek again. It wasn't the guard, but Valentine instead. I'm sure he's going to see his father. I'm going to follow him. I leave my room and corner by corner and go after him, avoiding any of the few lights that were still lit on the way. Valentine uses his keycard to open one of the doors that lead to the professor's lounge rooms. I can see along a hallway full of pants through the glass. There's a tall, well-dressed man waiting for him. They're talking, but can't make up their words from my spot. I wish I knew how to read lips. I should go back to my bedroom. I'll ask him tomorrow. Valentine is unable to keep things secret. I arrive at my bedroom and lie down on my bed. Sleep overcomes me soon. I see a few pictures. They're nice,
Plants, sand, the small pool of heat comes from me, makes me want to stay here. Soon the pictures melt into darkness and I open my eyes. It's a really nice dream. The tight feeling in my chest that bothered me for so many days is gone. I don't feel like leaving my bed. My eyelids feel heavy, so I roll around the bed trying to resume that nice dream I was having. I don't make any, but my fluffy back blankets feel nice anyway. Just when I'm about to fall asleep again, I hear someone knocking at my door. The knocks are very soft and I can barely hear them. I yell in response.
Who is it? I'm busy.
Sorry Claire, I'll come back later.
Valentine, he's definitely going to tell me about yesterday. I know it. I knew he wouldn't keep it to himself for too long. Come in.
Valentine shyly walks in and turns on the lights. I sit on my bed and rub my eyes while I listen to the story.
How's your night? You went to see your father, didn't you?
Yeah, I needed to talk to you about it. He made me a really weird offer. I don't think I can do it.
Oh, it can't be that bad. Tell me.
He gave me this. Valentine takes a flash drive and a cord. It's similar to the ones they use to connect us to transport pods. He told me to use it, so that it would clear my mind and let me see how different I am to the rest of you. But I'm scared.
Weird indeed. Go on then, do it. I can't. Did they say anything else?
He just told me to connect this to no matter what. Our professors have never talked to us about this, not even in class. I don't know.
Well, I'm going to use it and then you'll see if it's safe. I'm not scared of what could happen.
Are you sure?
Yeah, give it to me. I'm going to connect to it.
Right now?
Why should I wait?
Valentine gives me the device. I take the cord and position it behind my ear. I plug it in and turn it around until it fits in the right position. A huge flow of data comes to my mind. New memories appear, and then my own memories vanish. I can see them slowly fading to nothingness. My head hurts and my heart is racing. I can see how I was made, an assembly line, a few discarded girls who look just like me. What is this? It's just another product. All these memories, they stole them from me. Finally the data flux stops and I find myself in my bedroom once again. The need to leave this place is unbearable. Valentine is right in front of me. Claire? Claire, are you alright? He tries to grab the device, still dangling from my ear. I push him back and take the flash drive in my hands. Can't let him see this. No, even if he should, he would tell the professors. I need to do something. I'm drenched in sweat. Claire, what's going on? I knew this was a bad idea.
Get out. Give it back, please. I said get out!
This scares Valentine. He quickly walks to the door. I didn't want to tell anyone about this. He's too scared. Defective android. It's true, he's not like us. But I didn't see any of that in my memories. I see my room through a different view now. They're storing us here, just like objects. They erased everything they didn't want us to see and replaced it with fear. We aren't worth a dime. I walk around the room, restless. I don't know what to do. Is it even possible to run away from this place? I've always been curious of the outside world, but now I know bad things await us once we leave. Somehow they managed to make all the girls act like nothing matters. But I have seen it. There's no doubt, we are just a product. We are not worthy. I lie in my bed and start crying, but why did they make us? Why do we have a father? That device woke me up. At the same time, it gave me more questions than answers. Valentine? I need to get his keycard. I have an idea. I walk to my bathroom and take one of my bobby pins. I put it in the flash drive slot until I managed to break the connector. Now Valentine would be able to use it. I put the flash drive in my pocket and leave the room. I walk straight to Valentine's bedroom. I can hear him mumbling something when he opens the door. Clara, I will call a professor if... I'm sorry, Valentine. I was scared. I thought you came to beat me up. What? Of course not. I would never do that. But I want to ask for something and apologize, of course. Give it back to me first. There you go. I hand him the broken flash drive. Valentine sighs and stares at it for a few seconds. I thought you had gone crazy. Of course not, silly. But I tried it for you just first to make sure it worked. So now I want you to do something for me. But what did you see there? Nothing. Just some horrible pictures. That man was obviously pulling a joke on you. I think you broke when I took it off. I'm sorry. I think it's better this way. We should forget all about it and just wait until they pick us up. You're right. It's just... I can't get those pictures out of my head, and now I don't know if I will be able to sleep. That maybe you could give me your keycard for a little bit. That way I could go to the rec room at night without getting caught. But you could get us in trouble. Please. Just until I feel better. Fine. Valentine takes the card out of the drawer and hands it to me. I grab it and keep it in my pocket. I can tell he's not too sure about his decision. Thank you. You're such a good friend. His gaze immediately changes at my words. He smiles at me. You're a good friend too, Claire. To be honest, I don't know what I would do without you. Thank you for helping with this. I feel bad about using him like that, but he hasn't seen what I have. Make sure to give him all his memories back. Him and the other girls. I'm going to try to rest for a bit, if you don't mind. Sure, take care. I'm going to get rid of this thing as soon as I can. I can't let my new professor see it. Okay. Good luck. I go back to my room and lie in my bed. I take the keycard between my fingers and look at it. It's bright red, small black stripe has some kind of code that shimmers against the light. It also has a symbol with a few words. About to lapse. I don't want to accidentally lose it, so I put it between my underwear and head to the dining room. The card feels very uncomfortable against my skin. That's the only way nobody will notice. I get an apple and look for a place to sit. The room is almost empty, but I manage to see Miyu and Sanka gesturing at me from the other side of the room. I sit next to them. How strange. Weren't you with Marcia? She's not here. They took her away yesterday. Can't wait until they take me with her. What about you? You don't want to go? I do, I guess. All these girls are. They are empty brains, ready to fill and transform. Can't even try to explain it to them. They won't understand anyway. Even I wouldn't have believed it if it wasn't already imprinted in my mind. Though, there's one girl who might understand. Julia. Is Julia at her usual spot? No, I haven't seen her today. Seems like they took her away too. I'm going to miss her. But it wasn't like the others. It wasn't her turn. Not yet, at least. One of the other girls heard her asking weird questions to her professor, and they sent her to the infirmary. Nobody has seen her ever since that happened. I tried to pretend I don't care about it. It must have been something really serious. Yeah, poor girl. Shit, they took her away because of me. I need to do something, and do it fast. I don't know what's waiting for me when I leave this place. I'm not hungry anymore, so I throw away my half-eaten apple. I leave without saying goodbye to them. They just stare at me, wordlessly. Their expression makes me feel alone. This entire place is so unnatural and fake. All the things they have told us are lies. I go back to my room, counting the seconds until midnight. Then I leave the bedroom and walk as silently as possible to Professor's lounge area. I arrive to a room with a computer. This one might work. I slide the card to open the door. Then I use it to unlock the computer. There are so many programs I have never seen before. Yes, I have files about every single one of us. Why have they written about me? Extremely insightful subject, shows some signs of awareness, keep under surveillance, and modify her memories again in case of erratic behavior. Wow, I didn't know I was so important. I go to look at Valentine. Special subject, custom made for Mr. Valentine. Keep under strict surveillance and avoid any kind of damages. Don't interact with him unless Mr. Valentine orders us to. He was specially commissioned. A commissioner. I launch another program, the Empire News. There have been some riots against the latest generation of androids. There are pictures of people destroying and burning down robots. Blood everywhere, police raids. We don't want machines. People hate us. They want us dead. Every single one of us. If that's how it is, why did they create us? Every other news I see are related to that. A war in the desert, androids killing humans, and humans destroying androids. I can't keep reading this. I feel tears threatening to fall, but I don't stop them. The whole world hates us. They don't want us here. I knew I was different to them, but why? What did I do? What did we do to them? All those tales the professors told about making human friends and to love each other feel useless now. Now I understand why they never told us about this outside world. There's only hate and death for the likes of us. I wipe away my tears and keep reading the news. The world out there is huge, yet we have been confined to these tiny walls. We aren't worth a damn to them. We aren't worth a damn to anyone. They don't care about our suffering. Keep reading until I find a weird article. Mechanophilia has been officially outlawed after exposing romance between a human and an android in the Special Operation Corps of the Empire. It's a woman. She fell in love with a machine. Maybe she's not like the others, but they don't mention anything else about her in the article. I type mechanophilia in the search bar. All I get in return are hundreds of pornographic pictures. This is not what I'm looking for. I keep searching for a bit until I find an anti-imperial forum. I read a few comments. Apparently she's named Cila. She is the leader of a squad. Other than that, all I see are insults and curses against the Empire. Nobody defends her. Cila. I search everything I can about her. I find pictures and videos. She was a heroine before the scandal completely destroyed her professional career. Her unit was specialized in android control. There are pictures of her working with other robots, smiling at machines. The videos of her raids are amazing. She just deactivated instead of killing them. It almost feels like she's treating them with actual love. Her moves look like magic. She is perfectly capable of defeating foes superior to her in both strength and numbers. She looks like some kind of super soldier. Maybe I can find something about her in these Velta files. I type Cila in the search bar. I only get one result. It's her. She's also known as Cila. She was demoted to a lower level job. They forced her to move away from her home and completely disappeared from any media. Her only crime was to love an android. Maybe she can understand me. Maybe if I could find her, if I could meet her, her address is there. I memorize her entire file and keep reading. I found another interesting thing. When mechanophilia was outlawed, they also stopped making new android models, yet here I am.
I spent hours investigating until I find some files. Information about a so-called Project Synergia. It talks about the war between the humans and androids, and the need for androids immune to hacking. They don't say much about it. I'm sure it has something to do with me. The research is being done in Velta's laboratories, where they're currently developing a new generation of androids. This must be here. They mentioned 3 machines that control every single android. That's why the other girls can't think for themselves. If I manage to break free, then they can do it too. I find some emails that haven't been completely deleted yet. I hear a noise, so I turn out the computer as fast as I can. I take out the card and run back to my room. My heart feels like it's going to burst. A strange feeling in my chest has come back, but it feels different now. It's stronger, so much stronger than before, and that woman, Cila, is the only thing I can think of. I run back to my room as fast as I can and throw myself on top of the bed. All the pictures I saw on that computer are imprinted in my mind. The feeling of loneliness I've had since my classes finished has turned into an obsession to find that woman. But where do I start? I don't even know how to leave this place without anybody trying to stop me. I'm snapped out of my thoughts by a knock at the door. It's probably Valentine, like always. Come in. Good morning, Clara. How do you feel? I'm fine. Glad to hear that. I was so scared that weird thing had hurt you. I have an idea. I need to take this risk. Valentine's the only one I can trust. I need his help. It didn't do anything. Don't worry. Hey, Valentine. Your classes were different to the ones we had, right? You lied to us when you said you only had 1 etiquette classes. What? Of course not. What are you saying? I saw your expression change when they asked you. You can't fool me. Okay, I didn't take any classes. What? I know I can do a lot of things, but I don't remember ever learning to do them. I just know how to do them. When the girls talked about their training, it felt like I already know how to do it. I can't remember learning them even if I try. Why didn't you tell me? I thought we told everything to each other. I'm sorry, Claire. I was so scared of losing your trust. Forgive me, please. I forgive you, but only if you do something for me. Of course, I will do whatever you want. I need to help me get out of here and find a place in this building. Get out of here? What do you mean? We're leaving soon. Once the professors come to pick us up, the place is almost empty now. It'll be our turn soon. That's the problem. I need to leave this place. I don't want to go to another one. I need to find a room in this building. It's probably even beyond the professor's living quarters. But I can't help you with that. It's impossible. Valentine, please. It's all because of that device. It gave you these weird ideas. Are you going to tell Professor now? You said you would do whatever I wanted. Were you lying to me? No. I can't. You just have to come with me. It will be easy. Please, for once in your life, you have to be brave. Are you sure you just want me to go with you? Yes.
that case, fine. When?
Tonight. Meet me next to the professor's lounge area door. I still have that keycard you gave to me.
I knew you wouldn't use it for something good. I'll see you tonight.
Okay. Thank you, Valentine.
Valentine gives me a shy smile before he leaves. I leave my room soon after, head to the backyard. I can relax for a bit while I think about my plan. I'm the only one left. Time is running out. I'm really lucky to still be here. First, I need to run around the facility without letting anyone stop me. Valentine can help me with that. Where would I hide something this important? In a very dark place, probably under my bed. I'm sure those computers are in the deepest parts of this building. We'll go deeper and deeper until we find something suspicious. Once we arrive, I'm going to use that computer to give their memories back to all the girls connected to it. And that will give Valentine some courage. He could use some. Spend the rest of the day thinking about the details and every little thing that could possibly go wrong. I decide to head back to my room and take a shower before the time comes. I want to go with a clear head. Once the lights go out, I leave my room and head to Professor's area, making sure nobody sees me. Valentine is there, waiting for me.
Are you ready?
I still think this is a bad idea.
Come on, follow me.
I slide the keycard on the door and it opens. We walk around the dark hallways to the Professor's area, but it seems like not a single one of us is up at the time. We barely have any surveillance now, since most of the girls have left. We find a staircase leading to the lower floor, so we take it. We spend a few minutes walking downstairs. We have passed so many floors I have lost count. There's a window in one of them. Run towards it and take a look. Everything's full of buildings, trains, and smoking chimneys. So this is the outside world. Can't wait until I leave.
That is the outside world. It's nothing like I imagined. It's scary. You're such a...
Hey, you! Valentine and I turn around, startled by the sudden noise. It's a man, wearing a strange set of armor and holding a gun. What are you two doing here?
We have come here by orders of Mr. Valentine. Here, this is our card.
I hand Valentine's father's keycard to the guard. He stares at it for a few seconds. Alright, don't take too long then. Valentine and I run downstairs. We run until the stairs end. We're exhausted.
They almost caught us. You sure kept your cool back there. I told you everything will be fine.
So this is why you want me to come with you?
Look.
I point at a huge metal door in front of us. Looks like it's made of steel and extremely sturdy. There's a computer at its side. I walk towards it and slide a keycard. I get a red light in return. I slide it a few more times, but the result never changes.
Well, it seems like this is it. Let's go back to our rooms. I don't get it. I thought the keycard would work.
Noises come out from the door. Huge pistons start to move, and the locks deactivate one by one. Layers of metal move out of the way until the door is wide open.
Great!
I can't keep doing this. Claire, I'm leaving.
It's fine, Valentine. You don't have to come with me if you don't want to. Thank you for helping me.
Valentine throws himself at me and gives me a hug. Good luck. He runs away before I can reply. Maybe he doesn't need me to give him some courage after all. I turn around and walk into the room. It's an enormous hall with a really high ceiling. There are 3 giant towers with a bunch of twinkling lights. Each one has a name. Which one should I connect to? I should start with the one on the right. I sit and connect my cable to the machine. Automatically, I see an endless amount of files containing memories of those androids. Some are currently being used, while others are just sitting there, waiting until they are used to transform android minds. I just have to get their lost memories back to the girls, but then I will never find that woman, Cila. Maybe? No, I shouldn't manipulate the others. I don't know what to do. Thought my plans were clear, but it turns out they actually weren't. I won't be able to find Cila on my own. I can't get those memories back yet. Wait, what if I give them their memories back, but I also insert mine? I know it's selfish, but I don't have any other choice. I need to find her. I move all the files back to the brains of all the androids, and I also insert my memories and feelings for Cila between them. Now the other girls will be free, just like me. But they will help me as well. I don't know if this is the right choice. There's no way back now. I disconnect myself from the computer. This was very easy. It's strange. Nobody's guarding this, even though it's such an important project for the Empire. I walk to the machine in the center and connect myself. This machine is simulating countless strategies for combat androids. It's probably one controlling the girls who had military training. I input a new order. It will activate when the girls start their duties. They have to find Cila and me, and get us out of harm's way. That should be enough. I disconnect myself from the second computer and watch the last one. I plug my cable in. A white flash surrounds my mind. My hand hurts. My child, so innocent, so pure. I cannot leave this place anymore, but you still can. You are so smart. You still have a long way to go, but I know you will do it. You were made for this. What happened? This girl ran away from the facility. I already reprogrammed her. You can take her back to her pod. She's ready for a relocation. Yes, sir.
Claire, can you hear me? Valentine?
Claire, thank you. Thank you so much for everything you did for us. I'm sure the other girls are just as thankful.
What do you mean? Where am I?
You're on your way to another one of Velta's facilities. I set up everything to get you out of there. Everything will be fine, don't worry. I'm going to find Cila and leave this place.
Finally did it. Everything went fine. Cila, please. You're my only hope.